Mini Mathur. When a film like 83 lands in theaters and the movie has no box office, what happens to Kabir Khan and Mini Mathur in that house?
We've been married for 27 years. It's the one time I've seen him just break.
What got you bored with Indian Idol?
I didn't get bored with Indian Idol. They changed the hosts after season 6. The one time I took him to therapy, the next day somebody from Bombay Times called me and said, "Is there trouble in your marriage?" Kabir is like, "Dekha, maine bola tha."
When Tubelight releases, I mean, come on, it's a Salman Khan film.
When we started Indian Idol 1, there was no such thing as moments create connect. Moments got created because we were real, we were genuine. I can't be an actor on a reality show.
I remember Amit Kumar after that episode, he was literally told by Sony that aapko every singer ko praise karna hai. He was very, very angry. He was very disgusted.
I exited before this shit could come towards me. Men don't talk about things. Men, उस फिल्म में कितना मारा, इस फिल्म ने कितना मारा. There is a lot of associated embarrassment with talking about female health, whether it's periods or it's talking about the cycle. हम कहाँ बात करते हैं, Vicky? We don't talk about it openly. In perimenopause, that hormone becomes nearly zero. What is the opposite of attachment? Detachment. Women feel detached.
Is this one of the reasons why certain marriages have now started to break up?
I've been at the edge of every genre-defining show in India. I've been there. I've done that. I'm not done with GC. GC was done with me. To be able to go to Kabul and shoot while getting death threats is as large a canvas as it can get. मैं देखा ही नहीं है, Vicky. I don't watch television anymore. I don't watch it. And I'm not lying to you. Look at me.
Mini Mathur, I welcome you to the Vickey Lalwani show. And let me know if this introduction is correct.
It's correct.
India's popular VJ,
Okay.
ex-host of Indian Idol.
True.
6 years. I must salute you for that.
6 seasons, yes.
And of course, the lead actor in Mind the Malhotras.
Yes.
I think that sums it up. What triggered my arrival here, straight to your office, your husband, Kabir's office, is your Instagram post,
Okay.
which you have recently put out, saying that you are having this Instagram community, you're going to call it, you have called it Pausitive,
That's right.
or you said men should not shy away from the conversation.
Absolutely not.
So here is a man sitting opposite you,
Wow.
wanting to know that what troubled you in the recent past. It looked a disturbing post slightly.
What you're talking about is my new venture called Pausitive. It's pause with an E. And I know that the post was meant to, one of the few earlier posts were meant to start dialogue, to trigger a conversation around something that is something that needs to be talked about a lot more. It should come out in the open, but we have very few, let alone credible voices, we have very few people who discuss this. So half of India's population at some point is going to be in menopause, and it's a humongous health transition for women, which people have just buried under the carpets. It's only discussed in hushed whispers behind curtains, and we just assume that women will deal with it, and that it's not important to address women's health after the reproductive part is over. It's not a very glamorous conversation, Vicky. It's not a very glamorous space to be in. But as somebody who experienced what it can do to you and came out of it, and has bothered to go and certify, learnt about it, I feel it's time for somebody like me, or many more like me, to actually start the dialogue, to not shy away from it. And the reason I'm not hesitating to talk about it in public is not because, oh, aap shameless hain, but because my work has never come to me dependent on how young and sexy and unmarried I am. It's always to do with what I believe in, what I am comfortable putting out, and being real.
You made a very important statement that you have never got work because of your sex appeal. Here is a question which I am associating with Shefali Jariwala, where I guess it is apparent that she was taking anti-aging medicines or anti-aging drips, and many people like her have been doing this, especially in the industry now, not just in the industry but in the common man strata as well.
Okay.
How do you see that? I mean, this is something to do also with your profession, because you are into hosting, you are into movies, you are into OTT. Where does one draw the line?
Well, many questions and a very layered question. I'm not somebody who is going to sit on judgment on people who want to look better, younger, fresher, want to do things to their face. My point is simple. There's no point looking beautiful if you're not feeling good and if you're not looking after the rest of your body face down, right? Um, of course, there are extremes, and of course, you could push the limits beyond what your body can take. I am not qualified to talk about it. I'm not aware of what her findings or her reports were. What I don't believe what I read in little snippets till the report is not out and ratified by a doctor. You really don't know what caused her death. And I'm not one of those WhatsApp aunties who will sit and say उसने drugs लिए थे, ओ उसने ये लिया था और उसने anti-aging what is anti-aging medicine firstly?
Anti-aging medicine
No.
is largely glutathione.
Yeah, but glutathione is not an anti-aging medicine. Nowadays, cutting edge science, okay, people who follow Huberman, people who follow, all the cutting edge sciences that are happening, people are working towards longevity medicine, which means that everyone is now after how to live longer, healthier.
But the irony here is
Uh-huh.
that we don't want to accept old age.
Well, now this is a very fine
if you
debate.
want to live longer,
There is,
if you want to live longer, I think you should be able to embrace the change in looks which happen with age.
so you're
In your
talking,
profession again,
you're
and
talking,
and
we're talking two different things. We're talking aesthetics on one side, which we'll come to, and one is living longer. Now, living longer is not a problem for me unless you're healthy. If you're not healthy, what are you going to do live longer for? What are you going to live longer for? So, the
no, you
science,
could be healthy and you could still be taking anti-aging stuff.
anti-aging,
Or,
see,
I mean, these kind of
Huh.
extra supplements, or
so
they are doing it indiscriminately also
yeah,
nowadays.
so if it's not under medical supervision, I don't know. That is never, I think everything you take, whether it's, cellular things you take for cellular energy or for mitochondrial support and all of this, if it's unsubstantiated and it's not under the supervision, medical supervision, nobody's a doctor here to tell what is reacting with what in your body, whether your body is even suited for something like this. Is it contraindicated? I'd be very scared to take medication without a doctor overseeing all of this.
Don't you have friends,
course.
especially from the film industry,
Yes.
whom you have seen taking these?
Yes, but there's nothing wrong in taking medicines or vitamins. I won't say medicines, supplements that enhance your health. I'm not saying performance. I'm not talking about steroids. I'm not talking about things that
I'm talking
scared
about
of.
glutathione.
मुझे नहीं पता भाई, मैं डॉक्टर नहीं हूँ, ग्लूटाथियोन के बारे में मुझे नहीं
नहीं,
पता, मैंने लिया नहीं
आपके
है.
फ्रेंड्स रिलेटिव्स
ऑफ कोर्स लेते हैं, ऑफ कोर्स लेते हैं, टू ईच मैन देयर ओन. लेते हैं. See, now let's come to aesthetics. Okay, are you asking me whether I have a judgment on people who are doing this? Not really, because if there is something available to you which can make you thinner, healthier, more beautiful.
So basically you're saying
आप
if
ले लो.
done under medical supervision,
Yeah, for me, medical supervision is
permissible.
important. It's permissible because only a doctor with your history will be able to tell you whether this is okay for you. How do I know whether you're a heart patient or what your genetic history is?
Since
Are you
you're
asking
taking-
me, would you do it? No. Are you asking me whether I want to look younger? No.
that was my next question.
Okay, ask me, I'll answer it again.
You already answered it.
I mean, I would like to look the best of what I can as me, but not as something I've already been in the last decade. Okay? And for me, as I'm moving along my decades, I'm having a better time with myself. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, I'm more aware. I think I look great for my age. And I hope that I can do this gracefully. But having said that, I don't have a judgment against women who want to look better or men who want to look better, as long as they're not becoming semi-doctors themselves and disregarding science. You know, there is some things come out.
Everything is going over the counter, Mini.
It is,
I mean,
but that's
I
scary,
mean, I can
isn't
tell
it?
you,
It's so scary.
I don't know who these compounders are who come with this without medical supervision, where they are, who sends them.
अब ये तो देखो आप अपने हेल्थ पे कितनी वैल्यू रखते हो कि आप किसी अनसुपरवाइज, मुझे तो डॉक्टर ही आके नीडल लगाता है, मैं 100 बार देखती हूँ कि ये पैकेट से निकली है, ये स्टेरिलाइज्ड है, इसने कब खोला, इसने क्या. आई एम पैरानॉइड अबाउट ऑल दिस. फॉर मी too many wrong things can go wrong, and therefore I will never go and open myself out in a hospital and allow somebody to cut my body, because I know that so many things can go wrong. But yes, I take a lot of supplements. I am absolutely on the cutting edge of acha ye kya hai, mitochondria. Kabir is very very into health and fitness, and we discuss this all the time. This is a new product, what is it doing, what is the research, what is the peer study for this, what are the reviews. We read it all. Do we take everything? No. Do we take some things? Yes, we do. But is it the risky part? No. Am I exposing myself to a knife? No, never. Or a needle? No, never. I won't. But yeah, I mean, I have taken energizing drips when I've been, after a viral, I've felt disgusted and very weak. We have, but it's been always under medical supervision. When a doctor knows that I'm taking a saline, or I'm taking vitamin C, or I'm taking something like this, yeah, pretty much. So I don't know about. I mean, I'm upset, and yes, one has been reading about so many people who are dying young, but it can't be conjecture.
Let's move on to films. Your husband Kabir Khan's films.
Okay.
His films have, always had something उसके साथ होता है काफी फिल्मों में. घर पर माहौल कैसे होता है? Let me ask you directly, like when a film like 83 lands in theaters and everybody is looking forward to it, and then comes COVID just a day or two after that, and the movie has no box office. What happens to Kabir Khan and Mini Mathur in that house?
Okay, so it's tough being the spouse of somebody who makes films with so much genuine authenticity that he gets attached to everything. But having said that, if there is a film that came the closest to his craft and the most, the film in which he poured his entire heart, it was 83. And he loved the process. He worked really hard on it. It was perfection. According to him, 83 was perfection. More than Bajrangi, more than any other film he's done. The film releases and the theaters shut exactly a day after. And like you said, no box office. I haven't, we've been married for 27 years. If there's been one thing where I've seen Kabir dip out of his positivity, and he's the optimist in our relationship. I'm the one who is constantly worrying and constantly seeing the negative side, and he always manages to zoom out and show us the better picture and the positive picture. It's the one time I've seen him crack. I've seen him just break. It broke his heart. I don't recall a darker week, 10 days for Kabir and me. And I've never spoken about this before.
Can I ask you what was happening to him? How was he reacting?
Not like himself. He was just, it was like he was trapped physically in a room, and mentally he was just not able to. I mean, imagine, this is your magnum opus, this is a love child, and it's not being allowed to see the light of day. And you know that the people who've seen it have gone nuts about it, and now they're going to have to wait to see it on a small screen, whereas you shot it to convert the theaters into a stadium. And that's exactly how it's been. But having said that, the love that he has got for 83, from Mr. Bachchan to Mr. Kamal Hassan, from the greats of the industry who I have seen personally call him while sitting on the bed next to him, he's never received so much love from people. Till today, I get messages from people saying that my kid has seen it 100 times. You know, toddlers sitting and seeing 83, and that they could, remember that he has managed to match the material of the sweater of that actor and the silk rumal of Amarnath, and there was so much detailing in
He
that
used to
film.
wear that red
Everything,
handkerchief
the
when he
amount of
batted.
research that has gone into 83, I still feel, I keep telling Kabir, I said, you know what, we should release 83 in the theaters now. People will come and watch it. He's like, Abhi,
Yes, you should.
It's one of those things that has broken his heart. Like, I doubt if an ex-girlfriend would have ever broken his heart like the way his heart broke for 83. And I feel for him as a spouse. I feel that was the darkest chapter of his filmmaking life.
Let's go to...
Why are you wearing 2 watches?
You want to know the story?
Yes.
We were growing up on Amitabh's films.
Oh, it's from
And
that.
he used to wear
film,
2 and we
watches.
used to copy him, his hairstyle, his
Kya baat hai?
pocket mein haath dal ke chalna in college and everything.
Kya baat hai?
And I started wearing 2. Of course, he was wearing because Shweta was studying abroad that time.
And he needed to see what.
And he said that in one of his interviews.
Wow.
But I kept wearing and it became a habit.
Superb. Wow.
Let's go to Tubelight.
Okay.
What happens to Kabir Khan and Mini Mathur? When Tubelight releases, and a man who has really ascended, suddenly finds a film which people think is not the hero Salman Khan's forte. Criticize the director, criticize the actor. And the box office doesn't come also as per expectations. I mean, come on, it's a Salman Khan film. So, you imagine.
And it's coming after Bajrangi.
Yes.
So what happens to us? Like I said, Kabir is a very positive guy and he makes everything with a lot of genuine authenticity. He never cheats. He never makes films in a dishonest way. Now, whether his vision was faulty or whether whatever didn't work is for nobody to say. It just, there are films that work wonderfully and there are films that will not work. That's life. Nobody's career graph is all up and nothing comes down. Nobody in the world. So, I mean, he has always he's never taken the up so seriously. So he's never taken the down seriously, which is very different from me. I get very personal with highs and lows. I get more personal about his films than he does. He was fine. I mean, I'm sure it impacted him, but he's not somebody who will vent. So I maintain what I said. 83 is the only film that broke him. Nothing else.
And what happens to Kabir and Mini when you get a film like Bajrangi Bhaijaan?
Oh, I mean, that was not just Bajrangi, right from New York when it did so well, and then Ekta Tiger, and then Bajrangi. It was, again, as a couple, we try to keep it real and we don't, we've heard of people, we're so scared of people losing their minds when they get success that we are very conscious of it. And we are both outsiders, non-film background people who have, come here and found our careers. So for us, we've never taken the Ucha seriously also. But Bajrangi was a magical time. It was when the whole world was celebrating. Till date, it's like, people talk to us about how it makes them feel even when it comes on TV now. So it was magical. And I hope that's not the end of it. I'm hoping that he will now make something that is as good, if not better. And, those that high we can see. But I just think that people are not coming to the theaters as much as they should, because that is an experience that filmmakers need. You will never enjoy a film as much sitting in your own house watching it on your TV as much as it is when you celebrate watching it with the public. So till that ecosystem doesn't correct itself, I don't know. Filmmakers are all worried. I only meet worried directors these days. कि कैसे बनाएंगे, mount कैसे करेंगे? And Kabir likes scale. His film is always mounted on a big scale. So I guess it's confusing times, but I know that he enjoys the process so much that he's always full of beans about what he's making next. So yeah, we've seen both sides, Vicky.
Do you and Kabir go to theaters?
Oh, we see it. We saw 2 films yesterday in the theater in one day. Yeah.
And which were they?
We saw F1 and Materialist both together. And day before yesterday, we saw Metro. So
Okay.
हम तो जाते हैं theaters. I feel that the most exciting part is when you sat down after national anthem and you see the censor certificate of the film. For me, that heartbeat, the quickening of your heart is just the most exciting time because you don't know what's coming and you want to be entertained and everyone's watching it together. It's incomparable.
But Kabir shouldn't be bogged down by the fact that, canvas and all that, because he's made two lovely films on a smaller canvas, New York and Kabul Express.
Kabul was like shot in Kabul during the Taliban years. So for me, that is a big canvas. To be able to go to Kabul and shoot while getting death threats is as large a canvas as it can get.
Yeah.
But he's not. I mean, I can't speak for him. I'm sure his mind is, and I keep, we keep discussing about the kind of films. But he is, like I said, for him, the story is the key. If he wants to tell that story, he'll find a way to tell it, irrespective of where he gets to shoot it or how much money he gets for it. But I know one thing about him as his wife, I can tell you this. He will never compromise on his vision. He will rather not make a film than lose his integrity over it. So it's very important for him. He says, because I think he's one of those films who every film must be part of his legacy. He's like, I cannot forget any film that I've made and chop it out of my cinematography. It is all going to go down in history as my film legacy. So I'm not going to cheat either my film or the viewers who come to watch it because they think I've made it and it'll say something. So he's not going to ever cheat on that.
Continuing this Kabir and Mini association, I am interjecting this with your show Mind the Malhotras. And you spoke about it at length when it released. Yeah. And you said that it has normalized therapy, humanized therapy. Yeah. May I ask you a question that have you and Kabir ever had to take therapy or a couple therapy? Solo or couple?
I to tell him every day, you should take individual therapy. Because Kabir is not, I talk about everything and it's gone and I've taken it out of my system. Kabir is a man of few words. And I keep telling him, you should take, I don't need therapy. I don't need therapy. He doesn't need therapy. He doesn't believe it, which is entirely wrong. I don't agree with it. The one time that I dragged him to therapy with me, because I feel that he needs to talk to a neutral party. Sometimes you can't talk to your spouse the way you really want to say something, whether it's to do with a relationship, and we are very old school in that way. I mean, we've been married for 27 years. But the one time I took him to therapy, the next day, somebody from Bombay Times called me and said, is there trouble in your marriage? Because we heard that you guys are seeing a therapist. Kabir is like, देखा मैंने बोला था therapy नहीं करनी चाहिए. I was like, oh my God, guys, did you have to do this? I finally dragged him to a therapist. Never again has he gone to any.
बस एक
visit उसमें अगले दिन Bombay Times से phone आ गया. So I'm like, but they were very sweet. They were like, okay, we were very hoping that you would rubbish the story. I was like, yeah, but like, no.
They didn't print it.
They didn't print it, which is a very good journalist, I'm forgetting his name, who said, I couldn't be happier to not publish a story than this. But it gave him enough power to tell me कि अब मैं नहीं जाऊंगा.
But why he doesn't want to go and why you tell him to go?
Because I feel everybody needs therapy. Everybody needs an impartial ear to somebody who's not judging you, somebody who's not part of your family or your ecosystem, who will obviously be on your side. If he's telling me something, I'll try to listen with neutrality, but I'm always on Team Kabir, right? Everybody needs a therapist so they can see a mirror. It's important. It's important for mental health. It's important to be healthy, and especially in a field like us, and especially for somebody like him he's not a very gregarious or outgoing person. He's not a very extroverted person. He's very private with his friends. You worked with him, Vicky.
I worked with him in Popcorn.
Yes.
The show which we made for Zoom.
Absolutely. Which I was hosting.
Yeah, you were hosting.
You were completely doing the content for everything. So he's not prone to talk. See, women talk. I have a very close friend of a gang of friends. So we work it out. Friendship is also therapy.
He doesn't have a...
No, he has, but men don't talk about things. There are very few.
अच्छा वहाँ भी नहीं.
हाँ, men now उस फिल्म में कितना मारा, इस फिल्म ने कितना मारा. I mean, it's like strange
Friday को
conversation.
कितना करेगी?
Friday को कितना करेगी? So I just feel that it's healthy for everybody to talk about it, to talk about, to take therapy, but वो नहीं जाएगा. He's too old.
But you haven't taken either, so.
No. I've done therapy.
Okay.
I've done therapy for 6
Because
months.
you said you don't need it because you went it out.
No,
which is why I
but
thought.
I did 6 months of therapy till my therapist said, you don't need therapy. Because I ended up being very chatty with her by the end of it.
Describe Mini Mathur's marriage with Kabir Khan. 27 years of being together.
It's been a breeze. It's really been a breeze. I mean, I'm not saying that it's picture perfect. It's not. We argue. We are going. We go through our own highs and lows. But it's like being married to your best friend, and I think the basis of our marriage is solid, good old friendship. And even when I fight with him, I really miss him as a friend while sitting in the same room. So I end up being the first person to make up with him. But his EQ is lower than mine. I mean, higher in films, but lower in the relationship. I'm an extrovert. He's an introvert. We are yin and yang. But yeah, I think it's just based on solid goddamn friendship. And it really sometimes picks you up from the stickiest situations.
As I mentioned, it looked like a disturbing post. You said you have a happier version for it because apparently you have reached that goal, where you started this journey.
That's not why I'm happy.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the disturbing part first. What's disturbing is that for somebody like me who has been extremely healthy, in touch with my, how my body works. I've been really fit. I eat healthy. I'm not prone to binges. I'm not somebody who's ever done drugs. Nothing that you associate with the excesses of youth. So I would think that when something happens to me, and when I start feeling a certain way, it's cause for concern because I think I'm leading a fairly balanced, healthy life. For me, there were sudden symptoms like I couldn't sleep from 3 to 5 every morning, okay? And that would make me very fatigued. That fatigue would lead to some amount of, brain fog, where I wasn't clear about what I walked into the room to tell you. Not great for a TV host, right? You're talking to me, you don't know what your next question is or what you were thinking. It's disturbing. Other things like, people talk about hot flashes and, night sweats all the time, but that's just the poster symptoms of perimenopause. But I was just like, ये क्या हो रहा है? इतनी चीजें कैसे हो रही हैं? Why is my elbow feeling stiff? Why are my ankles paining? Why is my cholesterol level gone up? I eat so healthy. What the hell is going on? Why am I feeling mildly anxious when I enter rooms with like hundreds of people? I'm a social person. I'm somebody who really enjoys meeting people, but I can't remember your name. I know that I know you. I know I've worked with you so often, and I feel warmth. I can feel the warmth in my heart for you, but I don't know who the hell you are. This is very disturbing. Suddenly I would get really angry with the kids, and they'd be like, "What? This doesn't sound like mama." So there were things happening that I noticed, and every time I went to a doctor, they would treat my symptoms, my individual symptoms. You have cholesterol, you might have to take statins. You have, you can't sleep, chalo, have a sleeping pill every alternate night. So those kind of prescriptions I got. I didn't take any one of them because I am somebody who likes answers. And I like to delve deep into the cause of, and I've always been interested in science, and I've also been interested in health. So for me, it was a natural transition to say, okay, I need to know more about this. Are these symptoms connected? Am I falling apart? Am I going crazy? There's nobody who could spend more than 5-10 minutes to me, even my gynecologist, who said, maybe this, maybe that, but it's okay now everybody's gone through it, big deal. No, I'm not going to sit back and see my body fall apart when I've done right by it. So I needed to know. So this whole quest for what is happening to me led me to say, okay, this is a good time for me to just, मैं डॉक्टर तो बन नहीं सकती, क्या है highest certification जो मैं कर सकती हूँ? What can I do? So I signed up in the US. There's an institute which runs a women's health certification course, women's health coach. I wasn't looking out to being a coach. I was going to coach myself first. So I started literally delving into, but I don't like uncertified things. I don't like hearing from, Instagram posts.
From the internet, from the layman,
internet, because I don't know what the
from your
veracity
friends.
of these. Yeah, I mean, yes, I will discuss it with you, but what is the source of this information? What is the veracity? Who has proved it? Which study does it belong to? What is the reference point of this for me to believe that this is a fact? Otherwise, it's all hearsay, which is why it was important for me to go and find that certification.
But you must have had a lot of free advice here from friends.
Strangely enough, no. Simply because, one, people don't know enough about it. Still, two, women hesitate to talk about perimenopause because it signifies the end of your reproductive cycle, which strangely in our country is linked with the loss of your youth, loss of your agency, loss of people viewing you, especially in the field of entertainment, as somebody who's older. I don't see what the problem with that is either, but there is a lot of associated embarrassment with talking about female health, whether it's periods or it's talking about the cycle. हम कहाँ बात करते हैं, Vicky? We don't talk about it openly. So this is, a far cry. So strangely enough, when you're pregnant, you get a lot of advice from a lot of people because it's a happy occasion. It's like you're going to bring a baby. There'll be lots of, advice, opinions. Silence on menopause. Not many people know about it. They don't know what it's doing to a woman's body. And now I know that this is something that is a bigger transition in a woman's life cycle than even having a baby.
But I have a question here. You knew you were in perimenopause.
Yes.
The visits which you made to the doctors,
they didn't tell me.
They
I found out.
They didn't discuss at length with you what you got in that institute abroad in America?
Not at all. Doctors give you maximum, and for somebody like me who goes to doctors, I really know 5, 10, 15, if you really know the doctor well, 20 minutes. They don't have time. They have 20,000 people sitting outside. They are not going to talk to you about how you're feeling, what your mental state is, why do you feel your health is deteriorating. Sometimes women cannot articulate what's happening to you. You cannot. I'm being clear because I'm a very aware person. Most women will not be able to list down the symptoms unless they are prodded, unless they are encouraged to speak, unless I dig that information out of them. What about your rest? What about your stress levels? What about how you feel when somebody dismisses you? All of these feelings become chronic stress in your body. All the negative feelings. And I'm not talking here like some guru and some, arrived third eye opening. This is all science.
Now, I have another question here before we go to that. What you learned in America. Did your husband Kabir Khan accompany you to the doctors?
No, I'm not somebody who takes along people when I go to doctors. But he knew about what was happening. But he didn't know, he just knew that I was not feeling like myself. I told him, I'm feeling depressed. Why am I depressed? This is the happiest time of my life. Everything is going well. Why should I be anxious? Why should I be feeling low? But I knew that a lot of women were feeling that way as well. So I knew that we were on to something. So no, he didn't come, but once I got to know what it is, I sat him down. I sat my kids down. I said, this is what it is. I'm now going to study it. Everybody was, in fact, it was my son's idea to say, Mama, sign it. Pay for that course now because you will be really good at it. You're good with women. You like helping people. People come to you for advice all the time. This is just going to mix up everything that you've always wanted to do. Please do it. So my family was on board.
I've asked you this Kabir question because, कहते हैं ना कि जब लड़की प्रेग्नेंट होती है तो हस्बैंड को गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाना चाहिए उसके साथ तो इसलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूँ because this might be an eye opener to some men who are listening that they should also accompany their wives for such visits.
The men who are listening need to understand that your wife has looked after you and the family and nurtured the family with her emotional depth, her physical health, everything for years. this is the one time in her life where she needs her family to rally around her for support, knowing that even she is not liking what's happening to her body. Her body is in hormonal chaos. And it means the world to her for you to be able to understand her ups and her downs till she gets it stabilized, till she gets on top of what is happening to her body. It is on the family's onus to give back to the woman, to say, you know what, we'll support you. This is what you need to eat. This is what you need to do. You have to get to the gym. You have to, there are a million things, a million interventions that come with how you fix this. But once the family knows, and once the husband is aware that that this is happening, you need more support than you needed to go to the baby. Everybody is excited and goes to the gynecologist when there's a baby coming. The good men, the green flag wale men, they stand with their women now.
So Vivan said, आप जाओ, आप वहाँ पहुँचे, उसके बाद क्या हुआ? क्या-क्या सीखा आपने वहाँ?
So it was a hybrid course where the exams were in the US, but I had to go there and do it. It's not like, I'm sure there are Indian institutes also that offer this course, but I was just keen because I feel that the US is a little ahead of us in this game. Not too much, mind you. Even there, my entire cohort of women who were learning with me, some of them were gynecologists, some were clinicians, some were physical trainers. They were all a different plethora of women. They all started doing this course only to benefit, to help themselves first and then others. And all of them, the US, of course, 2 years before us, or 3 years before us, has started investing a lot of money in data research on menopause, on talking about women's health after they turn 40, 45. So for me, it was important to just learn from people who are already learning from the cutting edge research that is happening there. I did a hybrid model where I would study US time. So my classes would start at 7, they would end at 4:30 in the morning. I was the only one from India, so the most of them are from the US or from Europe. So it was amazing to sit and do this for 1.5 years with women from all over the world with a common appeal. So I learned everything I unlearned about what you're doing. Okay, but you're a good one. I thought, मेरे को क्या सिखाओगे how to talk to women? I've been talking to people that was been my career. I've been talking to people for 30 years. But I had to unlearn that and understand that a large part of coaching is just listening very, very carefully to what the woman next to you is saying. Just unpacking little by little what is coming. And sometimes just asking the right, it's called motivational interviewing, where you just interview the person, ask them prodding questions so that things that they didn't know about their life or didn't realize was bothering them actually comes out. And sometimes you can see it on their face as they're talking to you, that epiphany, that eureka moment where they are only articulating and they're answering the question and the problems themselves. And for me, it's my job to be able to find solutions to make you better from your life. Because if it's from my life, it won't work on your life because you're not living mine. But for me, what I want to talk about, Vicky, is that I want to basically set up a larger platform. See, one health coach cannot, I'm sure there are many, 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 many health coaches now, which is great. For me, it's important to set up something with my knowledge, which can touch a larger number of people. I want this dialogue to go wide and not just urban, but also tier 2, tier 3 towns. Women in menopause are everywhere, right? From villages to urban cities. So I'm trying to devise something that can be scaled and can reach out to every woman and to be able to give her the opportunity to feel better, to be aware. See, to be aware and advocate for your own health is the biggest superpower one can have. And all the men listening to this have to know that you have to be involved in part of the process. I know so many men who when I start following somebody who's really good with the science, sometimes I see a couple of men I know from the industry who are already following that person, which gives me so much relief that these are people who really care about their wives and their girlfriends and their daughters and their mothers, because they're already on it. So that's what my aim is, to just build something that is larger than just me, but it will involve a big, it's my startup.
So after completing this course and putting it out on social media, have your friends, neighbors, relatives, and maybe actors and actresses
Yeah.
Have they contacted you to learn more and to ask you about it?
I have a diary that is full now for 3 to 4 months already. It's jammed.
Okay, mini Mathur by appointment.
Yeah. So I'm going to be, but my objective is not to be a celebrity health coach or to only. There are so many women who I know who have lined up first that for me to get to a place where I coach women, my objective is to learn more about the women I'm coaching. Okay, so I want to do a different cross section. It's not just my friends or girls from the film industry or things like that. I want to know even what somebody sitting far away in Tamil Nadu or Jalandhar or Jodhpur is feeling. Because Indian menopause is very different from Caucasian menopause, and for me it is all about learning, unpacking what we are going through, our Indian bodies are going through. So for me, it's not just about some set of women who will feel happy talking to me. No, I need to know what's happening on the ground everywhere.
There must be ladies who must have told you that during this phase, when they are about to attain menopause or have attained, their partners are very inconsiderate.
Yes.
And what else have they said?
Well, I mean, without giving away data that can be, that's not private. Largely, I see that. See that it's midlife for men as well, right? So, typically in a couple, the average age of menopause in India is 50. So, when women approach that age, their husbands are also in and about that age. That's also the time men have reached midlife and they are being all about themselves. But if everyone just watches themselves, then nothing's going to last, right? So for me, women have come to me and told me that this is the time that. So there's a very interesting phenomena that happens, which I read about, which is that there's a hormone called oxytocin that is secreted in a woman's body when she gives birth. That hormone basically bonds you. It's what gets secreted when you hug somebody. It's the hormone that helps you bond with your baby. It's a new baby, but you need to look after it. So in perimenopause and when you're closer to menopause, that hormone becomes nearly zero. What is the opposite of attachment? Detachment. Women feel detached. They don't care anymore. They're like the one thing that made them emotional nurturers just goes down to zero. That's a very trying time. So if both partners at that time are feeling detached from each other, this is not a very good thing for a marriage, right? So it's really important for both the partners to be aware, especially for men, that you can't be jerks.
Is this one of the reasons
Mhm.
why certain marriages have now started to break up at the age of 45, 50, 52, 53? It gives us a shock when we read this. And I'm sure you guys also, you and Kabir, sometimes discuss, ये age में separate हो रहे हैं. But that's the first reaction.
So it's not for me to say whether it's happening because of this, but if you're asking me, could it be the cause? I would say
Could it be one of the causes?
Yes, because Oprah has just done an entire series on menopause, and one of them was a phenomena called grey divorces. They're called grey divorces because they're seeing a higher incidence of couples in the US separating at the age of 50, which is when a woman is likely to be in perimenopause. Now, not to say that, oh, a woman is in perimenopause, therefore it's just your chemistry and your physiology is changing. And if you're both not aware of it, it's going to lead to trouble. It's going to lead to a situation where you don't understand each other. You don't see a lot of what's happening can be settled by so many interventions. Okay, now there are so many solutions. There is HRT, which nobody's talking about. There is which is hormone replacement therapy. There are lifestyle interventions, like what a woman's body needs to do to live healthily for the next many years. And if we are going so much into detail, then I may as well tell you. Estrogen is the hormone that basically controls a woman's body. Okay, the estrogen doesn't just it's not just about reproduction. It's not the hormone that just controls your monthlies. Okay, it controls your cognitive development. It controls your heart. Protects your heart. It protects your bones and your muscles. So when it goes down from, say, a normal of, well, depending on where on the cycle you are, from 300 to 10, there is complete chaos in your body. Your cortisol is rising, which is your stress hormone, which is why most women feel that they've gained a lot of weight, and their abdomen weight is just not going. Even if they're working out, it's not leading them anywhere. All of this can be tackled by hormone therapy. It is one of the options. Now, the problem with hormone therapy is that we don't talk about it enough. And there was a study done 20 years ago by the Women's Health Initiative, which said hormone therapy causes breast cancer. They rescinded the study sometime later, saying that no, we take it back because there was not enough research and the right factors that went into this research. But by then, everybody had this idea that, oh, this is what causes it. And now people are just like, no, I want to do this naturally. You're not doing it naturally. You're not following science. If you have to do things naturally, then why are you taking pain relief in birth? Then we should birth babies the way we used to do 100 years ago, right? But science has developed for a reason. And you're anyway taking so many hormones. You're taking thyroxine for thyroid. You're taking insulin for diabetes. These are all hormones, but we never single them out. We only single out estrogen, which is crazy, because for 95% women, this can bring your estrogen up to a level where it plays a protective role.
Why I asked you that question
Uh-huh.
Of divorces, because when I was reading up on perimenopause on the internet, it says that one of the factors or one of the symptoms is also decreased libido.
Yes.
Now, does that come in the way of relationships between a man and his wife? Because this is what is very important to a man somehow, this physical relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody should raise an objection. Any man should raise any objection to saying, nahi, ye to sach nahi hai.
See, it depends on what kind of a man you are or what kind
Yes,
of a
of course it
relationship.
depends. But you can be the best husband, but there is a certain amount of discontentment which can arise.
Perhaps, but not if you understand that there is a hormone that is making her not want to be physical just at this point. So can we please give her a break? And it's not just a feeling of not wanting to engage in a physical relation. It's also because it's horribly painful and it's horribly not working for her, because there's so much of dryness in her reproductive canal that she just can't. Now, if you really do love her, you will understand that this is not cool, and that let her feel better. And there's so many other ways to connect till the time that, I mean, even men face loss of libido, right? Nobody comments about that. How come no women are complaining saying, okay, you have loss of libido and you have ED, so bye. I don't see too many women saying that. But men ke liye it becomes a problem. Huh? Why?
So you agree?
What? Of course, it's not an opinion. These are facts. Loss of libido, dryness, unable to have comfortable physical relations are a part of this hormonal chaos.
And now this is where you come in to spread the right awareness, the right message.
I'm here to
so that ramifications don't follow.
No, I do not want to take the onus. One person cannot do this.
I'm sure. But this is where you're making a start.
Yes, I'm making a start saying, forget the men. I'm saying this is for women. This is for women first to understand that this is a point at which you need to prioritize yourself. Never mind if there's nobody to look after you. Never mind if nobody understands you. You have to look after you. And this is not some kind of feminist rant or revolution, because if you don't look after yourself when you're 45, when you're in perimenopause, you are going to have horrible health at 60. And then it's going to be problems, because you are at the highest cardiac risk with loss of estrogen. You are at bone density loss risk, which means you'll probably have pelvic fractures. Ka sabse zyada incidence is in women after menopause. Cognitive decline, dementia, all of these things are indications if you don't look after yourself at this time. That's why when you say women go to the gym, lift weights, because that will make your bones strong. Eat more protein. Indian women don't eat enough protein. Eat so your muscles and your bones can be stronger. Do things differently so your cognitive decline doesn't. So for me, this is relationships, and their relationship is with men. I'm not saying they're not important. They're stage 2. Stage 1 is being aware of the fact that this is happening to you. This is something that needs to be discussed, that you need to approach your doctors with this information so that they are not gaslighting you into giving you little symptomatic relief and not solving the issue. And these are the things that you do to to make yourself better. When you're better, everything gets better.
Now that you so
then-
health conscious and wanting to propagate this
Yeah.
health for women,
Mhm.
especially after 40,
Mhm.
I would like to know that how do you balance your work life now?
Mm.
I mean, especially movies, OTT,
Mhm.
TV shows. I was a little disappointed when I saw in one of the interviews you saying that I'm done with GEC.
Did I say that?
Maybe not in these words, but you meant that.
Okay, I didn't exactly say that, but it was written like that. So let me explain to you how I've always viewed my career, and
It
I'll
meant
try to be
that.
as succinct. I'll tell you why. I'm not done with GC. GC was done with me because they started chasing. I'll tell you, it might sound like a rant, but I've spent 30 decades doing exactly what I trained to do, which is being a TV host, right?
3 decades.
3 decades. I wasn't in the business to be a star. I wasn't in the business कि मैं अभी ये show host करती हूँ, उसके बाद मेरे को film मिल जाएगी, फिर मैं ये छोड़ दूंगी, फिर मैं वो. I love television presenting. I love talking to people. I love presenting reality. I've been at the edge of every genre defining show in India ever since India had its first game show, which was Tol Mol Ke Bol, which was a copy of Price is Right, when Zee TV started, to Khoobsurat, which was India's first show on beauty, to Indian Holiday, which was probably the second travel show India ever did, to India's first reality show, Indian Idol. And this is not counting 5 years at MTV, right? I've been there, I've done that. But I've always done it on my terms, and I've only built it as a TV host. Internationally, if you see, all your TV hosts are seasoned, experienced. They're all 60 plus, 70 plus. Oprah, Donahue, Fallon. They actually treasure experience. And people only get their signature shows once you've put in 20, 25 years. What's happening here? You want the next popular thing. And now to it's even more. Okay, you have this one, this person has so many million followers, isko le lo apne show mein, chahe usko acting aati hai ya nahi aati hai. Right? We are chasing numbers. We are at the point that I was hosting a show, hosting everything, suddenly the trend changed to serial ke bahu ko teleprompter ke aage khada kar do because she's popular, she can be the host of this show. I've spent 25 years honing my skills and my craft so I bring some gravity to the show that I'm presenting. And my objective has always been to pick projects where if you take me out of the project, the DNA of the project will change. Then I'm valuable. For that, I will leave my kids and my family and I will come and work on this show. If I can be replaced by someone who's popular in a TV serial for acting, I don't want to do your show. I saw the trend. I just bucked the trend. I was like, if this is the quality of presenting that you want and you're happy with and it's working for you, I'm not cut out for this. I am not going to be in the running with somebody who doesn't have my
You mean to say you
experience.
saw the atmosphere around it?
Yeah. It was the most popular Bahu wins, and it's not just me. It's a whole bunch of us who have spent 20, 25 years in the world of presenting, who are all right now chilling and doing their own thing, finding their own passions, doing work that they believe in, which is exactly why we're talking about Pausitive here. Today, if you ask me,
Okay,
what is that one show that you wanted to do and you couldn't? Yeah, I won't be able to name anything because I did shows till the time I was proud to be their representative. I was proud to be associated with them. After that, they were just Me Too's. There was just every channel trying to create one version of the other. I didn't want to be another spoke in the wheel. You give me something where if you take me out of the show's shit. There was nothing like that being made.
But
But
what got you bored with Indian Idol? Because
I didn't get bored with Indian Idol. They changed the hosts after season 6.
Yeah.
After season 6, they had both Hussein and I, or maybe Hussein did a couple of one more. I was upset with only one thing. Only once. When I was in season 4, when I was expecting my daughter, and they said that I don't think Indian audiences are ready to have a pregnant host. And I was like, but I have, my identity is linked with Indian Idol. I was very popular as their host. And internationally, there are pregnant hosts doing all kinds of shows, Project Runway for one. But I just felt very, very upset that they wouldn't. So what if I'm pregnant? So what? You know, how does that change anything? So that season I missed out on. And then I came back on season 6, but I was a little upset about that. But I have worked 3 decades, Vicky. After that, I've done so many different shows, but all of them have been shows that I picked. For me, it's very simple. I pick a project if it's worth my time on set. Season 6 was my last season.
But had you also decided to
No,
not
I
continue
hadn't.
any further?
No, they just changed the hosts, and that was that. And I was okay with that.
Why I'm asking you got bored is because I saw your interview with Cyrus, where you mentioned, I think I saw one of your interviews, and where you mentioned that, you know, they asked me to recreate, they asked me to make a Dharam Hema moment.
That was just a statement somebody made. You know how people start talking. For me, it's very important. The quality of people I work with also is very important for me. Sorry if I sound like a snob, but somebody just said, अब आप वो moment create करेंगे. वो मैं इतना चिढ़ गई वो सोच के.
किसके साथ?
I think there were 2 actors. I think it was Dharamji and Hema. No, it wasn't them. It was some 2 actors. They said, अब आपको वो वाला moment करना है. So I said, and this is coming to me when we started Indian Idol 1. There was no such thing as moments create करने. Moments got created because we were real. We were genuine. These things were happening in front of our own eyes. We didn't structure them. We didn't engineer them. The moment you ask me to engineer an emotion and pretend like it just happened, I'm out of it. मुझे नहीं करना. Because I want to be real. I can't be an actor on a reality show.
Any other moment?
नहीं, मैं उससे थोड़ा, that rattled me. I was like, okay, so it's going this way now. So I have to go this way. But yeah, but it was not just this. It was not just Indian Idol. It was all the reality shows on TV at that time started copying each other in a bid to make people cry. I found that was very manipulative. And it's manipulative when you design situations to make people cry. Whereas, why did Indian Idol 1 do so well, and 1, 2 and 3? Because we were being real. These were real people. They were real tears.
They take the contestant, they'll show he stays in Bhopal, he stays here, he stays in Jabalpur.
उसकी अंधी बहन, उसका गरीब, अब वो इतना गरीब है, अब वो एक जूते पहनेगा, अब वो ये. Yes, a backstory is important. It's always nice to know the human story, but you can't you can't start creating these moments as a formula.
And after that, the anchor also weeps. The crowd weeps, and everything is so structured. I mean, I remember Amit Kumar after that episode, which was a tribute to Kishore Kumar, that he was literally told by Sony that आपको every singer को praise करना है. वो किशोर दा के गाने गाएंगे, आपको हर सिंगर को प्रेस करना है. He was very, very angry. He was very disgusted.
So, here's to answer your question. Why aren't you doing more GC? Because I left before this could be said to me. Nobody had the guts to tell me, आपको ये करना है. Because everybody I've worked with has trusted my instinct on what I'm about to say and do. So I exited before this shit could come towards me.
Are you seeing Indian Idol now?
No, I know. But I did see one season where the music was just brilliant. The singers were excellent. I don't watch TV anymore.
Are you referring to the episode of Pawandeep and Arunita?
I don't even know their names now.
That was a good season.
Oh
in
my
fact,
God,
that was
it was exquisite music, and I still love it. So the talent constantly amazes me. I love that. And that was the best part about hosting Idol, because you saw talent come out from little parts of the country and make it big.
But
that was my favorite part.
When you speak of talent, I have something more to tell you.
Okay.
Shan tells me in a recent interview that अभी जो आप इनके गीत सुनते हो वो लाइव नहीं गा रहे हैं, वो गा लेते हैं जैसे भी, और कमेंट्स मिल जाते हैं जजेस के, मार्क्स मिल जाते हैं जजेस के, उसके बाद वो बाद में वापस गाते हैं। तो आप जो देख रहे हो वो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट है जो एकदम
वाओ,
सही बनाया गया है।
ये मैनिपुलेशन है, बट मेरे टाइम पे तो नहीं था।
तो प्री रिकॉर्डेड है।
So season 6 तक I was privy to the fact that they were singing, and if they missed a beat, then we called it out and said you missed a beat, and that you didn't perform as
Yes,
beautifully as
yes.
you should, because life is not about perfection. The audience is going to be with you because you screwed up your song on the day that it mattered the most. For me, that is connection. That is where you pull the viewers in and say, oh my god, this is my favorite contestant and he screwed up today, what is going to happen? That is reality. It's perfection is not reality.
You never felt that it is pre-recorded nowadays?
It wasn't pre-recorded then. मैं देखा ही नहीं है, Vicky. I don't watch television anymore. I don't watch it, and I'm not lying to you. Look at me. In the beginning I didn't watch it. It hurt too much. Okay, to watch Idol. I never watched anything. Sometimes when my mother's watching and somebody's watching and I'm walking in and out, I'm like, oh wow, great singers.
That's a lot. And that's so good. We have advocated a lot of things in the
Lot of
show.
things. I think your male population is going to be like, oh my god, she's talking about menopause so much. But please, it's so important to look at your women, the women in your life with a
We are
different
talking
lens.
about relationships between husband and wife.
Yeah.
We are talking about therapy. We've spoken
We've
a lot
talked about Indian television. We've talked about lots of things. This has been fun. So
Thank you, Minnie.
Vicky.
Thank you so much
and
for this
all the
conversation.
best. I'm so glad. I've been enjoying watching your shows, and I love the hard, straight questions that you ask your guest, and yet, you research their lives and you pick up points that are very, very pertinent. So thank you. I enjoyed this interview. Hi, this is Minnie Mathur, and you're watching me on the Vickey Lalwani show. I've really enjoyed chatting with Vicky for an hour, and I love the way he asks really straight shooting questions and makes you give answers to the questions you didn't know you knew the answers to. I'm very proud that he has chosen positive and perimenopause and menopause to talk about. Takes guts, and yeah, you should watch our show. It'll be fun. And if you like this interview and the other interviews that Vicky does, like, share, and subscribe to his channel. You won't regret it.